don't know who we are, I would say we're arguably one of the top campus solutions, functional and technical consulting and solutions development companies in the world. Our roots are in Europe. I'm specifically here to bring CY2 to the US, and hopefully that's really good news for those of you that are Campus Solutions customers. Today we're going to be talking about the booking assistant, as Steve said, but there's also another key technology that we developed and very serendipitously realized that if we tie that into the booking assistant, it becomes a pretty powerful solution that can address these specific areas. And the premise is that advisors are critical to student success, but at-risk students may not necessarily utilize their advisors effectively, and also advisors, they're overworked and they frequently struggle with the workload and calendaring. I think what I would like to do is instead of going through all these these slides, guys, Stefan, could I get you to go ahead and start the demo?
Yep.
And then we'll talk through this for everybody as we do the demo. The screen is yours, my friend.
All right, let me show the screen. Just hold on. All right. Am I sharing the screen?
Not yet.
I am, right? Not yet. All right. Screen 2, and then show. Yeah, all right. Hold on, I switched to my mobile because that's better for the demo. And okay, off we go. So, so a little bit background about the well, notifications comes in, and this is where it all starts. A student receives a notification, and we're going to see what the notification exactly is. So what you see here is your grades are posted, and we recommend you to meet your advisor. That is where it all starts. And it could be a notification on SMS or WhatsApp, or maybe in Teams, whatever you want. So in this case, I get it on my, I think this is SMS. So, and what you can do inside a notification, you can just tap the link. I'm just going to click the link for a moment, and you see it will bring me to a digital assistant. Now, we are working on digital assistant together with the University of Amsterdam, so I thought it would be nice to put the background of the university in there. The next demo we're gonna give 2 demos today, and the second one is actually a work in progress on the University of Amsterdam Applied Sciences. So I want to share that demo as well. But back to our case. So the student gets a notification, hey, there's a new grade, and we recommend you to contact your advisor. So we're tapping into the link and we get into the digital assistant. Now, the first thing the digital assistant does is say, okay, just get your grades. And before we can get the grades of the student, we need to authenticate. So let me do that. I already logged on into the environment because we're running out of time. So it naturally picks already my authentication token up. So it says authentication successful. Perfect. And what we can see here is it's fetching the grades from Campus Solutions. And this part you see here is actually already built. It's nothing new. Everything you see on my screen is already a skill built and delivered by Oracle. It's what Steve's mentioned in his presentation. It's one of the 3 delivered skills. The only thing we did is whenever you see a D, which is a bad grade or an insufficient grade, is that you say, hey, it might be interesting to put a button underneath it and say, hey, book an advisor appointment. And this is where we extended the delivered Oracle skill. So you can go through all your grades here, but in the event you have an insufficient grade, you can book an advisor appointment. So now, if I click on that button, it says, well, I'm going to plan a meeting with an advisor. Do you really want it? And the beauty of it is that the skill you just saw is the grade skill now turns over to the booking assistant skill or the booking bot. So there are two bots just doing all the work together without the user noticing it, because for the user it's one flow. It just goes from one bot to another. So the moment I accept this, it will go to the booking assistant bot. And there I get the question, hey, okay, so we know who you are, you authenticated. So, and these are your advisors. So whom of those you want to talk to? Is it John Smith or is it Barbara Jones now? For now, I'm doing John Smith. And those advisors are pulled from Campus. There's an advisor-student relationship you can put into Campus in a configuration. So, and this is where this integration makes use of. And the next question is actually, okay, so where do you want to have this this meeting? Do you want it online on Teams, or do you want it on location? Do you come to Campus, for example? Now, in my case, I want to have an online meeting, so I go online. And then at that very moment, I do see John's agenda items when he is free. So I can scroll through them. Well, let me pick just the first one. So I just say book time slot, and I get this confirmation. Do you really want to do this? And I say yes, confirm. Now, at this moment, at this very moment, the booking assistant sends John an invite for the 7th, and you can see my calendar invitation coming in at the top, because I get the invitation as well. So the booking assistant is just really the assistant between John and I as a student. We both get the calendar event, and then the meeting is set. Now, from here, everything works the same as normal Outlook. If John cancels or the student cancels, the other party knows, and then we can reset, or you can reschedule the appointment through the booking assistant. Basically, this was the first demo I want to do. And John, in this case, is my colleague Ernst, and he can talk you through a little bit of the advisor ends of things. So I will.
Stefan, I just made Ernst the presenter. Ernst, you can take over.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Dave. And yes, hello. Nice to see you all tonight. Yes, so let me just actually switch over to my calendar over here. If you look at the top of my screen over here, there is actually a coaching appointment that actually has just been sent to me to be requested if I would actually like to accept that. And with that acceptance, it actually now is part of my Teams calendar, where I can now actually join the meeting whenever that meeting is happening. In this case, the 7th of June at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, to meet with Stefan to speak about the D grade that he actually got. So both the student as well as the advisor get an agenda item pushed out to them. And in my calendar, there's actually a number of time slots that are defined for these particular meetings to happen. So as an advisor, I pre-populate in my calendar time slots that I am available for conversation with students. And those time slots get picked. Those time slots get picked up, excuse me, where to be available time slots for the students to choose from. And I can book these time slots way up ahead, or I can actually book them, for instance, for the next 3 weeks. And as an added value for me, and also to give me as an advisor a benefit of actually having Oracle Digital Assistant at my university, there is also the ability within the booking assistant for the advisor to manage the advisor hours or the advisor time slots using the bot. So the bot can actually also pre-book your time slots for you as an advisor for the next 5 weeks, the next 10 weeks, the next how many weeks you want. You define via the bot when you are able to speak to students. Those agenda items are actually pushed into your own advisor calendar and become the available time slots for the students to actually choose from. So
Ernst, we actually have a question. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a question. We're using Teams here, but the question is, can we work with other calendaring systems? The quick answer is absolutely. And in fact, I mean, we're talking to a university here in the United States who, depending upon what course of study and where a student is in that course of study, the student could actually interface with up to 3 different calendaring, or 3 different advisors, I should say, and each advisor has a different calendaring system. So the way that we look at this, let's say there's Outlook, Teams, there's Google, there may be other calendaring systems that are in place. What we see this as a potential overlay over those calendaring systems, so that there's a consistent UI, which is the Oracle Digital Assistant that integrates directly in the background with those calendaring systems and presents both the student and the advisor with a consistent UI and a consistent workflow and process to schedule meetings, for the advisor to insert meetings or their availability in their calendars, which then obviously gets picked up, as Stefan showed, in when the advisor is available.
Thanks, Hendricks. Very good answer. Very good question as well. Thank you. Yeah, so as mentioned, the advisor now has actually got his appointment in his calendar, so he's ready to go and have the conversation. I just wanted to take a few minutes to actually explain you on the back end what happens when we actually did the demo just now. What actually happens is, within Oracle Campus Solutions, we have the ability to pull people out of the system that actually have gotten grades, and whereby grades are actually not as positive as they actually might have hoped that they would be. We're using then our Connect cloud service to actually communicate out to students in different channels of choice. So CY2 Connect allows Campus Solutions to send out messages to students in different channels, like for instance SMS, WhatsApp, Canvas, Teams, and other kinds of channels where they can actually communicate to students. The students, as you saw at, for instance, as an example, Steve's phone, actually gets a notification that there is actually new grades for him. He clicks on the link then takes him straight to the Oracle Digital Assistant, where he has the dialogue with the bot to actually identify what his grades are, and then actually book an assistant appointment, an advisor appointment with the Oracle Digital Assistant at his fingertips, so to say, whereby he actually gets a email notification and a notification for his Outlook calendar, as well as the advisor gets an Outlook calendar invitation. And the flow actually then continues into other things if he wants to. So Connect plays a really important part here in ensuring that the student gets notified at the channel that he likes to actually then commence into an Oracle Digital Assistant transaction, whereby he can then view what his grades are and also take action on the fact that he didn't get the grade he wanted, and actually book that appointment with his advisor there and then, without having to check if the advisor has time, without having to communicate with the advisor beforehand via email. He can just actually book a time slot that is pre-booked by the advisor as being an available time slot.
And now, we believe that, and Ernst, you can switch to the Connect architecture screen. We think that the magic here, obviously the digital assistant is huge, but also there's the Connect component, as Ernst was describing, and really you can, as you all as Campus Solution users know, you can have event triggers really anywhere in the system. In this case, it's grades. So instead of leaving it up to, and we're using the example of an at-risk student, instead of leaving it up to that student who's at risk for whatever the reasons are, in this case grades, instead of leaving it up to the student to schedule something on their own, the Connect is deeply integrated into Campus, and actually pulls that event trigger out and sends it to the student via SMS, and it's that act that, as I said, we think is the magic in terms of automating the process and beginning a dialogue with the student. And so, Ernst, maybe talk a little bit more about Connect and its architecture.
Yeah, So thanks. So as mentioned, Connect actually allows you to actually communicate from campus and other applications to a variety of channels whereby students and other users are able to actually opt in or opt out of those channels. Connect works based on batch notifications, as well as Hendrix actually mentions on event triggers, whereby a single click of a save button or actually changing of a field value actually can also already trigger a message towards a student or another type of user of the system, so to say. And with Connect, we've actually created a hub that actually allows you as a university to communicate to wherever the student is and wherever the student would like to get his information. So you're no longer tied to sending out emails and hoping people will read them. You're actually able to communicate where the student indicates himself that he wants the information to go to. Could be either multiple channels or could be single channels for that particular student. And as you saw, with the connection between Connect as the communication and, let's say, event trigger mechanism, and then the Oracle Digital Assistant being able to make that trigger actionable, it really becomes a very powerful combination, because now we're able to not only inform the student about the fact that his grades are in, we're also actually already giving him the opportunity to book a assistant appointment with that particular advisor to make sure that he actually gets the help he needs to get better grades next time. And that maybe also takes me to the next demo that we would like to show, because grades are one, money is two, I would like to say almost. So without further ado, we would like to introduce our next financial aid use case in this context. And I'll please hand it over to Stefan from the point of view of speaking to about it.
Great. Yeah, I'm. If you share the screen just for a moment still. Yeah, yesterday I was on the Dutch Education User Group, which is the Dutch version of the Haag, I would say. And I presented this with the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. And just a little background. So we're talking about student debts here, and in the Netherlands is 27 billion euro of student debts in total of the whole Netherlands. Speaking in the US, well, it goes into the trillions already, because the US is, well, a little bit bigger. But the thing is, those debts are also impacting, well, not only the students themselves, but also, well, the universities, because they have to take care of the situation. And what we see is that a lot of students with debts have a lot of stress, have a hard time of reaching out to the university in the first place. And at the end, they kick the can down the road, and they will be unsubscribed from the university, and they are no longer welcome. So, and this is a case which we are studying right now. We are looking into the project. We are starting the project and see how a digital assistant can make life easier for students by lower the burden for students to reach out, because they don't want to reach out to a person directly. But what if we put a digital assistant in the middle? And what if we can use more channels to reach out instead of only the mail? And that is what we are looking into. But for now, we already have a quick demo of this, and I want to share this directly. So I need to get presenter rights.
I changed the presenter to you, Stefan, so you're good to go.
Good. All right. So let me just hold on. Show my screen. Yeah. So I will switch to mobile again. Just bear with me for a moment. All right. And as you can see, so I've got another message coming in. There's a one here, and it says we were unable to process your latest tuition fee or tuition payment. Click on the link below. So similar like the grades, but now it's the tuition fee that's not being paid. And well, I can click on it again, and I will land on this digital assistant page from the Amsterdam University of Applied Sciences. And what it does, it it tries to, well, at least reach out to the student in a positive way and say, hey, I'm glad you're like reaching out to me, and have you received a message from us? And well, yes, we did. So we clicked yes. And we're looking into the communication. So this is a first draft. So the communication department has to look, okay, how do we approach student? The tone of voice is very important. So this is not what we have done yet. So it's not the polished version. It's the draft version I'm going to show you. It says, thank you for reaching out. Have you already made your payment? No, we didn't. And then it asks, well, how many installments did you miss? And it's up to the university how much installments we can put in here. It's configuration, but for now, let's say I missed one installment. Because I clicked one, and this is one of the use cases we have in Amsterdam. They say, well, if people have one installment missed, they might have the possibility to pay it. So we're gonna ask it. Is it possible for you to pay the overdue immediately? I can say yes. And then I get into, well, if you have to pay, you need to authenticate, because we need to make sure you're the one that's saying that that's paying the bills for your own missing installments. So if I do authenticate, it gets me the amount that I need to pay. Now, at this moment, the student might think, hey, wait a minute, that's maybe too much. So I can either go to Take Me There, and it will go to my my payment provider, or I can just cancel it. And it says, well, do you really want to cancel? Let me say yes. And I just want to go to where the booking assistant comes into place then again, because now I canceled my payment. It suggests reaching out through making an appointment, and we can do that in various ways, like make an appointment. The first one, just call me back, and then we leave a phone number, and then the administration reaches out within 5 workdays, for example, or I'll be in touch, which means we just send our address details to contact the university. But the best way is to say, okay, make an appointment. And this is where we see the similar behavior as with the great demo, is we go into the booking assistant again, but this time differently, because this is more anonymous, because that is one of the things we Amsterdam said, well, students want to be anonymous when they talk about financial issues. So in this case, we don't want to authenticate them directly up front. And so that's why we're saying, hey, on which email address we can reach you. So I can say something like, okay, and an email address is all we need to make a booking. So, and at this moment, it's asking me the same questions again. I want an online, and then I can go through the possible time slots. Now, another difference is it didn't ask with who I want to have the meeting, because that is one of the requirements in Amsterdam. They don't want to expose the advisors on the chatbot. So what we did, they have a shared calendar. So there's another setup. They have a shared calendar, and they just pick from that calendar, they pick all the possibilities, and the booking assistant arranges to what calendar the invite goes. So, and that we can set up at the back end. Now, let me say book time slot for 31 May. Now, similar here, I do the confirm, and that's it. And I think it will take a few seconds before the calendar invite comes in again. And from that moment, I've got my confirmation, and I also got my my event hooked up. So I've got my appointment with the advisor. We're running a little short on time, so I'm gonna skip the demo so Hendrix can do the last set of slides.
Sure.
So Hendrix, back to you.
Thank you, Stefan. Actually, Ernst, you have the, I think you have the final screen. You have the presentation up?
Already? All right. So let me.
Ernst?
Oh, is it Ernst?
Yeah, Ernst has. Ernst, we're going to go back to you for the final 2 slides. Just go to the use case slide, Ernst. It's slide 13. Thank you. Yep, we could see that. So sorry for sort of the webinar meeting logistic hiccups, but hopefully we've been able to deliver some interesting information that might be valuable to your students. Certainly, we hope that you want to take the next step and talk to us. It's really, to us, it's really up to your imagination, and certainly driven by the needs of the institution, you know, where you see your students, your constituents being challenged the most. You know, we're focused on students. Obviously, you can expand that out to, you know, to alumni, to applicants, but it's really anything that you want to do out of Campus Solutions. We can tie into the Connect messaging student comms platform, and then into ODA, into the Oracle Digital Assistant platform, to build really unique solution use cases on proven technology, CY2 being the glue that holds it all together. And I think that's the message that we would like to leave you with. Ernst, you can go to, there's a question on, is this a back-end cloud solution on subscription, or does it provide a UI for the users to manage the integrations? So Connect is a cloud, is a licensed, subscription licensed cloud solution that ties obviously into the Oracle Digital Assistant. I think that probably answers the question. And so therefore it's really, I mean, each customer, each institution has the opportunity to configure this exactly how they want it. You know, they can use their own calendaring system. Obviously, we inherit all of the existing security protocols and single sign-on. The dialogue is completely up to the university. They're delivered skills, but those can be, you know, those can be customized. So the whole point is that you can make this, and the branding, you can make this completely unique to your institution. What, you know, as Stefan said, at the University of Amsterdam Applied Sciences, the university's communications department is heavily involved because the tone of the dialogue with the student is so important. You know, we're all sort of technology people, but in dealing with students, there definitely is some delicate consideration in terms of making sure that what we deliver to the students actually get used. And then obviously, as you know, digital assistants can live really in any channel. I mean, you know, mobile, inside Microsoft Teams, on the website, so on and so forth. So our whole mantra is reach students where they live, not necessarily where we prescribe that they might be. And the whole point of Connect is that students don't necessarily read emails like we all do in the business and the professional world, but they do, you know, they are in Canvas, they are in their LMS, they might be using WhatsApp or SMS. So we want to be able to reach them there and then invoke the digital assistant dialogue wherever that might be. So I think that's it for us. I want to thank everybody for, oh, sorry, yep, super important. Thank you, Ernst. We built this, so our view of digital assistant might be a little bit different than sort of the typical chatbot, which invokes AI and there's a lot of learning. We built this so that it's easy to implement. We can get a proof of concept pilot production up in 2 to 6 weeks. We're using standard adapters for Campus and for Outlook. And as I said, we've got pre-configured and adjustable workflows. And because they're both They're both cloud solutions. This can be, we can stand up a proof of concept pretty easily. And I think that's it, Ernst. Thank you for the reminder on kind of the payoff slide. You can go to the thank you, and it has our emails on it if anybody would like to email us. We'll follow up with everybody after the webinar. But again, thank you. A recording will be made available. We'll send the link out to all the registrants and attendees. I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. I hope everybody has a great rest of the day and week. Thanks again.